Salut à toutes et à tous et bienvenue sur LJS. Nous sommes dans... Ah mais on peut choisir... Nous sommes dans GreedFall. Voilà. On avait tabassé un marchand parce qu'il voulait nous extorquer de l'argent, hein, clairement. Et je viens de me rendre compte d'un truc vraiment sympa. Alors ça c'est quoi ça c'est un autre truc. C'est que là, quand vous regardez la boussole, qui est au-dessus, au centre de l'écran, on peut choisir les quêtes directement sur la boussole. En fait, on regarde, on tourne, on voit les objectifs et on fait oh, mais c'est trop de la belle. Et là, par exemple, l'ambassadeur du pont, machin. En tout cas, les quêtes principales, on peut switcher entre elles. Ça, c'est vraiment cool. Voilà, donc on commence par une découverte incroyable des JS hein, du jeu. C'est un petit ajout, mais ça fait le taf. Bon, on avait tabassé un mec parce que il voulait carrément nous extorquer de l'argent parce que le prix de... Parce que les prix avaient augmenté en fait entre temps. Tout simplement. Et comme je l'ai si bien dit la dernière fois, j'ai dit bah ok t'es mignon mais... Ah je lui ai mis une full furie dans la tête. Tiens prends ça. Oh la petite parade. Oh sole mio. Et voilà. Putain, mais... Ils sont... Ah ouais, direct, du bleu comme ça, là. Paf. On verra ce que ça donne plus tard. Il y a l'air d'avoir beaucoup de loot. Hein. Avant, c'était... Il y avait du loot, mais pas à ce point-là. Là, je trouve ça très... très looteux. Mais c'est cool, c'est bien, c'est bien. Allez, des pièces, des nages. On va vraiment améliorer les animations des personnages. Alors, même si c'est pas encore ça, on va pas... Avoir une popo pour se remettre de la vie. D'où l'importance de mettre le truc qui régène de la vie. Hein. Hors combat. Je sais même pas où je vais. Enfin, si, je sais où je vais, mais je sais pas comment j'y vais. On revient en arrière, peut-être. Genre là. On peut passer par là. Ouais. J'avais déjà ces bugs là. Regardez. En fait, c'est le mapping des textures. C'est un peu dommage, mais j'avais déjà eu dans d'autres jeux avec leur moteur. Là. Ah, bah on peut grimper. Et ben voilà. Et normalement, là, on y va. Ce serait pas genre...
But what you're about to discover could save I believe I've seen you at the palace. Are you one of the prince's relatives?
Non, non, je suis personne. Ferme-la. D'ailleurs, ce bug de texture que j'ai là, enfin de mapping, je l'avais sur une Nvidia, donc pas non plus. Pas genre. Ça vient pas d'AMD quoi. Ok. Vous avez tabassé un de nos marchands. Bah en même temps, il a voulu nous rouler, hein, donc. Ta gueule. Bonjour monsieur.
Lady Desade, I presume. It is an honor to make your acquaintance. Captain, you set sail soon. Have you seen to our little business?
Ouais.
Yes, we were finally able to recover your merchandise.
Excellent news. I'm afraid, though, that your mission isn't completely finished, Kurt.
Blast me, I'm a captain, not an errand boy.
The commander was quite explicit.
Very well. What do I need to do?
The merchandise that you obtained needs to be sent to Tier 4D as soon as possible. But the Port Authority formalities for shipping take an eternity to wade through. And we've already lost quite a bit of time with this dishonest merchant.
Are you blatantly asking us to smuggle this merchandise and contraband?
I would never ask you to do such a thing, Your Excellency.
Ah, but you don't mind asking that of Kurt?
Well, now, if he finds an alternative solution that is less illegal, that would be fine. The method matters not. But this cargo must reach the Isle on the next ship.
Marvelous.
Well then, I await your return with utmost impatience. I'm certain you shall do what's required.
Ok, donc là on nous demande de faire de la contrebande pour passer les marchandises. Alors je sais pas pourquoi ils veulent absolument passer en... Enfin, pourquoi ça doit passer en... On va parler à Kurt.
Greenblood, do you need something?
Si, c'est déjà senti seul.
I wondered if you ever felt lonely.
I always do. Why, do you want to rectify this?
Répondre par l'affirmative. What? Ça, c'est la violence. Lui dire qu'on avait été à ses côtés toutes ces années.
I hope to have kept you good company for all these years. After all, we were always together.
And these memories I hold dear. You've always been extraordinary, Greenblood, but I had to watch over you. You were my responsibility. That didn't leave us much time for friendship.
What about now?
Now? I hope that we'll have more time. Anything else?
I must
Ok.
leave you.
Ouais, parce qu'il faut quand même entretenir des relations avec nos compagnons. Ils ont des quêtes à faire, ils ont des trucs à faire. Hein. C'est pas genre juste des compagnons à la... Alors, trouver un moyen de faire passer la cargaison. Alors, je sais pas du tout quoi faire. C'est de la contrebande. Je vous avoue que moi, je suis pas... Voilà. Hein. Vous n'allez pas avoir le let's play du 100%, je suis le bon samaritain. Non, non, je fais les choses comme ça m'arrange, comme ça me semble le plus juste. Hein. C'est à ça que se sert d'avoir des jeux de rôle avec des choix. Hein. Parce que si c'est toujours pour faire la même chose, oui, je suis un bon samaritain. Alors je cherche à faire les choses justes. Hein. Qui es-tu?
Lively there, lads and lasses!
Pasco.
I promised the merchants and their prince we'd be off before the tide. You, man, carry that properly. That porcelain is worth more than your life. There are some children we'd been best to refuse.
Captain Vasco.
And you are?
I'm de Sade, the prince's niece. All is in order. We will soon be embarking on your boat.
It's a ship, not a boat.
Apologies.
Apologies for my asking, but the young governor isn't with you.
He didn't come home this morning. I need to find him before departure.
I hope nothing's happened to him or he hasn't changed his mind. The tide does not wait.
Perhaps he simply celebrated his imminent departure with a little too much enthusiasm. Is everything ready?
We're short a crew member. The cabin boy is missing. But have no fear, we will leave without him if he does not present himself before the tide.
Is he an important member of the crew?
We don't need him for sailing or navigation. He's only a cabin boy.
He must have simply had a bit too much to drink in celebrating his departure. Like another I know.
I doubt that. Jonas was never one to fancy drink. And it's been 2 days since last he was seen. Now I fear something bad has happened to him. Might I ask you, if you hear anything, could you report it to me? I would like to set sail with a clear mind.
Ok. Enquêter sur la disparition du mousse. Je vais lui parler de l'absence de... On va déjà l'aider. Et après on verra pour les marchandises.
When did you see your cabin boy for the last time?
It's been 2 days since I've had any news at all. It wasn't out of the ordinary until this morning. My men have free shore leave when we're at dock. But the day of departure, every able-bodied sailor must be present on the ship.
Ok.
Does the boy know anyone in Sérène?
Other than fellow Norts, you mean? I don't think so, but it's difficult to be sure.
Ok.
Miss Jonas, does he have any close friends amongst the crew?
In tradition, we are all members of the same family. But yes, there would be Flavio and Lauro.
Might I have a word with them?
As you wish. You'll find them over there, in port.
Ok. Interroge. On n'a pas trop besoin de nom comme ça.
Could you tell me a little about your guild?
We are masters of the oceans. Our ships can sail where no others dare.
Thanks to your magic, so I've heard. How do you become a Nort?
Our magic, yes, that only the Norts master. As for your question, any child born on one of our ships is seaborn. He is a Nort from birth. Others are sea-gifted, joining the Norts for different reasons, often from a young age. It's how the guild is made and maintains its numbers.
D'accord. Donc la plupart des marins sont des nautes en fait, sont des magiciens. D'accord. Intéressant.
You haven't heard anything about my cousin by chance, have you? To be honest, we were hoping to find him here.
Did you say he was intending on celebrating his departure? My men spoke of a rather animated party that went down at the Coin Tavern, but I haven't heard anything else.
That isn't the safest place in the city. I hope nothing has happened to him.
On vient de tabasser un marchand.
Thank you, Captain.
Happy to be of some help.
I have a favor to ask before we leave.
I'm all ears.
We would like to load some merchandise into your ship's hold.
Impossible. You're too late for that. All merchandise must be registered at the Port Authority, and the formalities are long. So, unless you're asking me to turn smuggler and hide contraband on my vessel.
I wouldn't go that far. We're only talking about a few crates, after all.
Well then, they'll have to wait. The next ship for New Sérène leaves in a month.
Hellfire. If that shipment doesn't leave today, the commander will have my hide.
Captain, I understand your position, but isn't there some way we can get these crates on board?
I doubt it. Even if I wanted to help you, my quartermaster is a half-crazed bridge troll. He's gotten it into his head that a gang of ruffians want to use my ship to pass contraband over to Tirfredi. Space guards where our cargo is being held before being loaded. All that is not in the warehouse and noted on the manifest will be left on the docks. Sorry, but your crates are gonna have to wait until the next ship sets sail.
Sorry, Kurt. At least we tried.
Ouais, c'est compliqué.
Have my head. I'm sure that's what he wanted in giving me this impossible task.
In that case, we're going to have to doctor the manifest ourselves.
Ouais, c'est ce que j'allais dire.
It must be at the Harbour Master's office.
Alors en fait, on va
Be
partir.
back soon, Captain.
En fait, on va d'abord s'occuper du mousse. Je me suis dit, bah, vu qu'on a accepté de s'occuper du mousse, il va peut-être nous... On appelle un grand vide. C'est pour décharger. Hein. Vu qu'on a accepté de s'occuper du mousse, je me suis dit, bah, ça se trouve, il va nous dire, ah, quand vous aurez retrouvé Jeannot, y a pas de souci. Alors attends, enquêter sur la disparition du mousse, et là on a quoi? Ah bah voilà. On peut passer là, non? Hey, Monsieur de Coursillon.
I still don't see Constantine at your side.
Bah, je sais
I
pas.
hope he hasn't been the victim of any foul play.
Don't worry. We'll find him in time for departure.
I certainly hope so. Would you be in need of my help in any way?
What will be your official title on Tirfredi? Or are you just here to keep an eye on us?
Come now, don't be ridiculous. I'm coming in the capacity of official advisor, nothing more. But His Highness has also asked me to report to him on certain strategic observations. I am therefore required to take note of all events, chart the island and its resources, but also obtain as much knowledge as possible concerning the more dangerous creatures of the island. Your help will be extremely valuable to me. I've no longer the legs of an adventurer.
It's always a privilege to help, Master.
Ok.
I need to be leaving. I have quite a few things to do before we raise anchor.
Monsieur Coursillon. Allez, on lui a parlé, c'est bon. On fout. Et... Ouais. Eh non, je veux pas aller là. Alors la taverne ou là-bas?
Good day, sailor. I've been told that you know the missing cabin boy well. Is that right?
You talking about Jonas? You bet your stars I know him. But like I've been crying to the 9 deaf winds, he didn't go missing, he was taken.
Hein? Ah, c'est pas...
Were you a witness to the event?
Yes, I was. Even though I'd had a few tumblers in the belly, I hadn't yet lost my head. The other day, in the tavern, I saw him talking to a well-dressed man, surrounded by some other sly ruffians. And then when we left, him and I, Flavia left a little earlier, you understand? Well, those brutes were there, waiting for him. They just up and took him like that. Grabbed his arms and poof. Gone. Vanished.
Why
Okay.
did you intervene?
I tried to, believe me. But my legs betrayed me. Wavering they were. And I fell into the gutter.
Did you report this to the captain?
Unfortunately not. I know all too well what weight my words carry. Even Flavia treated me like a
En même temps,
drunken
si tu picoles
fool.
tout le temps.
But the captain? No. Not telling him that. I still have some pride left. You get me?
Ok, parler de l'état d'esprit.
Did Jonas seem troubled to you the night he disappeared?
Maybe. For sure he wasn't his usual self.
Do you know what was on his mind?
No. No idea.
Why would anyone want to snatch a mere cabin boy?
How would I know? Jonas is a gentle boy who keeps his head down. You think my story is nothing but mess too, don't you?
Bon, pas spécialement.
It's just that I can't imagine a gang of thugs hoping to get a ransom for a cabin boy. Did anyone else see the kidnapping?
There was still a small crowd in the tavern. But outside, I seem to recall that regular being there. We play cards with him from time to time. Kind of fellow who plays from morning to night time to be that skilled. But now and again he comes out. When nature calls, you know. I kind of remember his face being there.
Ok, on va
What do
interroger
you
sur le
think
capitaine.
about Captain Vasco?
He's a just man who knows his knots. He's well appreciated by the crew. It's a pity that he hasn't much heart for laughs now and again. Always seems unhappy, our captain.
Thank you, Lauro. I need to be going.
Ok. Ce serait enlevé, mais j'avoue, mais pour quelle raison on aurait enlevé Comme si t'enlevais, je sais pas moi. Flavia, bon.
Good day. Someone told me that you were a friend of Jonas, the young cabin boy who was gone missing.
That's right, yeah. Are you looking for him?
Yes. Your captain asked me to go and find him.
Happy to hear he's taken the disappearance seriously. What can I do for you?
On va lui demander ce qu'elle pense du capitaine
What
déjà.
do you think about Captain Vasco?
He's a damn good navigator and an excellent leader of men. He knows his craft well, in spite of being so young.
How old is he?
He's not seen his 25th year yet. If he keeps it up, he'll be an admiral one day.
Alors...
When did you last see him?
2 days ago, in the evening. We went to have a drink in the tavern. Jonas, Lauro, and myself.
Did anything seem out of the ordinary? Was he troubled?
Maybe a tad troubled. Like he was somewhere else.
Why would that be? Give me your best guess.
Boy, I haven't the faintest idea.
What does Jonas
D'habitude,
do
ouais.
in his free time, when you're on land?
À part
He
picoler.
just hangs around here or there. You know the cabin boys don't have half a sailor's wages. And when evening comes, we usually go down the tavern with good old Lauro.
Did he ever have one too many?
Never. He sips his pint like it was bad medicine. One drink lasts him the whole night.
D'accord.
Does he know anyone in Sérène?
No one, far as I know.
Do you think he could have made himself any enemies?
I wouldn't think that for a moment. Jonas has a good heart and he steers clear of trouble and troublemakers.
I don't know where to start with this.
Bah j'avoue.
Do you have any idea?
No. Lauro won't stop telling anyone who will lend him an ear that the boy was carried off by thugs.
And you don't believe him?
I like Lauro, don't get me wrong, he's like a brother. But to be honest, he drinks a little more than he should. The itch for a drink gets us all, but to him more than others, and when you drink too much, the imagination wanders. Here, yesterday, it was me who tied one over, and I thought I heard Jonas's voice by the canal. I called back to him, as you guessed, but then nothing. Drink. It blurs
Ok,
your
bon, on
senses.
sait où il faut chercher maintenant, c'est plutôt bien.
I need to be going. Farewell.
Strange story.
Vers le canal, hein, de ce que j'ai compris.
Something isn't right here. I can feel it.
Oh,
We need to lift the veil on this.
genre au pif comme ça. On a un caban. Ah, mais on peut sortir de partout. On va suivre la quête bêtement. Quartier du port. Oui, interroger mais... Excusez-moi. Donc on est à la taverne. Allez! Bon, le tavernier, il les a forcément vus. Hein. Et qui picole. Résolution de quête. Dans GreedFall, une quête peut généralement se résoudre de plusieurs manières différentes. De Sardé a plusieurs cordes à son arc. Ruse, persuasion, intuition, corruption, création d'objets via l'artisanat et la science. Sont autant de moyens disponibles pour arriver à vos fins. Pour vous améliorer dans ces domaines, investissez des points depuis l'arbre de talent correspondant ou portez des équipements offrant des bonus. La menace et le combat sont aussi envisageables lorsque vos adversaires ne sont pas réceptifs à vos talents. Et ben, on va déjà ramasser 7 pièces d'or. Mais de toute façon, là, pour l'instant, j'ai rien. On va pas... Hein, on va pas tergiverser. On va regarder le caban. Ah, il est pas mal, le caban. Donne quoi? Résistance à la magie. Ah, j'aime bien le caban, il est dans la stylisation. Alors, par contre, il y a... Ah oui, disparition chez l'autre. Okay. On a quoi? Ah oui, c'est dans le stack. Nous avons... Préparation alchimique élémentaire. Super. Et là, comme j'ai pas encore augmenté, bah, je peux pas... Voilà. Pas encore faire des trucs. En plus, j'ai mis du crochetage. Pour l'instant, je m'en suis pas servi. Ce qui serait intéressant... La création d'armes et d'armures simples. Je sais pas si je prendrais la... Je sais pas si je prendrais l'artisanat. Par contre, ce qui va être intéressant, c'est de prendre ça. Hein. La régénération... Voilà. Ce qui est régénération, de toute façon, c'est pas dur, c'est un must-have. Et je sais pas si je prendrais... Ah, je vais peut-être prendre la potion, des trucs pour fabriquer des... En tout cas, c'est sûr, je vais prendre la vigueur. Très bien. Bon, on va parler, on va causer. À Geoffrey.
Good day to you. What is your pleasure?
Geoffroy, pardon. Au sujet de Constantin.
I'm looking for my cousin. His name is Constantine. I believe he was intent on celebrating his departure last night.
There was indeed a party here last night, but it ended badly.
Whatever do you mean?
A brawl broke out. My tavern was shattered, and no one's paid for the damages.
I'm sorry. Amongst the rebel rousers, did there happen to be a young man? 20 years of age? Hair down to his neck, light brown? Blue eyes? Quite the talker?
I don't believe it. Of course he was there. He's the man that started the fight. I hope you've come to reimburse me. Don't count on me to help you if that's not the case.
What kind of damage are we talking about exactly?
A good half of my furniture was broken into firewood. I piled up the lot over there.
Let me take a look. Perhaps it can be repaired.
If you can fix it, I'd be obliged. If not, you'll need to pay.
Ah. Alors je peux le payer. Mais je crois que j'ai rien en fait. On va le
Here you
payer.
are, to cover your expenses.
Excellent. Honest books makes for honest friendships.
Je pense que j'aurais pu tourner pour trouver les chevilles.
Either a very bad joker or a right good fool. He went and insulted a band of ruffians from the lower boroughs. Dangerous fellows. They've a storehouse they operate out of a few streets from here.
What kind of business do they run?
Several, actually, and they're all illegal and profitable. But you didn't hear that from me. In any case, if you were set on recovering your cousin, I would hurry if I were you. They're not the tender sorts.
Thank you for the information.
Off with ya. Get him out of whatever mess he's got himself into. Seemed like a courageous fellow. who could down his pint. Anything else?
Oui.
I am looking for a Naut. A young cabin boy who has been missing roll call for 2 days now.
A Naut, you say? That's not a lot to go on.
Ouais,
There are
c'est
quite
juste en train de me
a few
dire.
that come to my tavern.
According to one of his fellows, he would have been taken right here.
A kidnapping. In my establishment. You surely jest.
Non, pas
At
dedans,
least I
à
hope
l'extérieur.
you do. I would have noticed. That doesn't hold water.
Pas ça, oh là là.
Someone told me about one of your faithful clients. A big gambler, it would seem.
I see. An able-bodied man. Passes his time lightening the pouches of sailors coming through.
Where might I find him at this time?
Here? He would never give away his chair at his table. Anything else?
Non, écoute,
I need to
tout va
be
bien.
off. Farewell.
Goodbye.
Qu'il est le monsieur. Au moins c'est simple. Il est pas très long. Salut!
I don't recognize you. Am I in your debt?
No, have no fear about that. It's for a different reason that I'm here. I'm
cette
looking for a
donzelle,
Naut
peut-être.
that disappeared 2 days ago, after visiting this establishment. A young cabin boy. 2 members of his crew accompanied him.
Yes, that does ring a bell. I've played with the 3 of them.
What can you tell me about the boy? How was he that night?
He seemed rather nervous, as if he was worried about something. Didn't feel like playing, that I remember. And he must have been right to be nervous, if he's disappeared.
Effectivement.
Tell
Mon
me what
Sherlock.
happened that evening.
A rich merchant came in, with a band of strong arms. The kind of men you can round up for a few coins, if you catch my drift. They exchanged words with the cabin boy. The kid was defensive, not sitting pretty. And then they finally left.
And after that?
It just so happens that I did go out for a breather. I needed some fresh air. And I think I might well have seen those same men grab him. But that was none of my business. I wouldn't have thought that they were kidnapping him if that's what it was. They weren't particularly rough with him.
Ok, ouais, bon.
Who was the rich merchant, do you think? A jilted lover? A moneylender?
No, my lady, you're in luck. It so happens that I know the man. It was Sir Fontaine, that merchant.
Where can I find him?
He has a house in the wealthy boroughs, just off the canal.
Ah.
Stone's throw from the Theleme embassy.
Thank you. You've been immensely helpful.
This man is completely
Est-ce
owned by his love for the game. Do you think we can trust him?
What would he gain
Va voir
from
avec lui.
lying?
I have no idea.
Oh, hello, Your
Donne-moi ça.
Excellency. It is
Eh
an
oh.
honor. This furniture is in terrible condition. The fight must have been extremely violent.
It
J'ai pas
looks
de
as if
cheville.
it's fixable. I've seen worse.
Oui, c'est
We'll need to
réparable,
build
mais
some
j'ai
metal
pas le temps pour des
dowels.
conneries pareilles.
Done, we can make them later.
On est déjà à 28 minutes de vidéo et on a fait que parler pour retrouver un mousse. Bagarre! Non mais ça je le sais, de toute façon ces jeux-là au départ c'est toujours comme ça. Leurs jeux sont vraiment faits de cette manière-là tout le temps. Bon, après c'est un jeu de rôle, hein, donc forcément le début ça bavasse. Hein. Ça bavasse pas mal. On va retrouver ce mousse là, ça me... Ça me turlupine, voilà. Ça me scrafouille la curiosité, comme dirait l'autre. Ah, on a croisé un clone. Ouais! Dégage! Ah. Eh ben. On a 18 mètres. On va confronter les ravisseurs. Est-ce qu'on va finir la vidéo sur une baston?
Might I help you, my lady?
I would like to have a word with Sir Fontaine.
He is absent, but the lady of the house could certainly receive you. Enter, please.
Bah, ok. Ah, c'est bon. En plus, la net a dit qu'elle l'avait en... La copine, la Flavia, là.
Oh, I know you. I've seen you at court. You are Lady de Sade. And to what do I owe the honor of your visit, Excellency?
I would like to have a word with your husband.
He is not here, but perhaps I could be of help.
It concerns a delicate matter. We are looking for a missing cabin boy. According to witnesses, he had an argument with your husband before being taken.
I see. I am afraid that you have been misled. You seem to have come to the wrong conclusion.
Leur fils.
The cabin boy you speak of was not taken. He has simply returned home.
Ouais.
Excuse me, but I'm not sure I understand.
Don't you see, Your Excellency? We got our son back.
Ouais, ok.
I'm very surprised. Several witnesses confirmed that your son had a fight with your husband, and that his men escorted him from the tavern using force. If he had joined your husband willingly...
Witnesses? In a tavern? And you choose to believe these drunkards over a respectable family?
These witnesses are all in agreement, and it is their testimonies that have led me to your doorstep.
My son was probably shocked to have found us. My husband and the other men might have simply had to carry him.
Ouais.
A gesture that your drunkards must have misunderstood.
What was your son doing on a Naut ship? Why would they have taken him?
Ouais.
It is what they do. Through pacts and contracts, they steal away young children from their mothers.
What are you talking about?
I would have thought that a legate would know these things. But it is true that you are young and inexperienced. It seems that you have been protected from the turpitudes of our own nation and their terrible allies. This horrible, constant ransoming that they put us through. But I will not say another word. You will have no trouble verifying the details now that you know what to look for.
Where might I find your son now?
I cannot say, Excellency. You must understand why. Until the Nauts have set sail, we live in fear they will take him back from us.
This pact. It sounds like some fear-inducing story.
The Nauts wouldn't be the first to recruit through dubious means.
Ouais, c'est possible, mais après, le Note nous a précisé que la plupart des Notes étaient emmernés, étaient des mernés, ou alors ils s'engageaient d'eux-mêmes pour leurs propres raisons. Donc il y a quelque chose en fait. On va essayer d'en apprendre plus, parce que... Ah, l'eau est stylée. On va essayer d'en apprendre plus, et je pense qu'une fois qu'on en saura plus, on tranchera et la vidéo s'arrêtera. C'est difficile de faire des vidéos d'une demi-heure sur un jeu de rôle, quoi. Voilà, on est déjà à 33 000. Sur un jeu qui a autant de parlotte, sur un jeu où il se passe tellement de choses, on peut pas faire des vidéos courtes. Pas possible. Ou alors tu fais des vidéos d'une demi-heure, mais il se passe rien, tu vois. Obligé de mener l'enquête jusqu'au bout, là.
Captain, milady, we were given orders to wait here with the merchandise.
You're going to have to wait. We need to find a way to clear the access to the warehouse.
Ouais. Ouais. Ah ouais. Les coursiers. Ah ouais. Ah oui, d'accord. Oui, bah non, mais je suis pas là. Enfin, ouais. Là, c'est l'autre quête. On a découvert entrepôt des Nautes. Non, mais ça, on verra après. Alors, les zones contrôlées par d'autres factions. Cette zone est sous le contrôle d'une autre faction que la vôtre. Certains lieux vous sont interdits. Tenus de la faction, juste le torse de la faction, peut vous permettre de tromper les gardes. Vous pouvez également tenter l'approche furtive. Mais si un garde vous repère, vous serez attaqué à vue et perdrez la réputation auprès de la faction concernée. D'accord, mais là, pour l'instant... c'est pas ça que je veux faire, là. Eh ben...
Let's take a look around the building. We might find a less conspicuous entrance.
Ah, faudrait peut-être que je fasse de la furtivité pour le plus grand bonheur de tous. Ah là 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 là. Tu sais à quel point ma furtivité est légendaire. À quel point j'adore ça. Alors je pense qu'il faut parler au capitaine, juste j'arrive pas... Ah voilà. J'arrive pas à retrouver ce con là.
Madam, you still haven't found your cousin. As you well know, we cannot leave without him.
Ouais, pas de
No
problème.
fear. I will bring him back in time to make our scheduled departure. Is everything ready?
I'm still without news of my cabin boy, but we will have to.
Ah, il est vraiment inquiet pour lui. Hein. Alors, on va voir.
I spoke with a woman who told me she was the mother of the cabin boy. She claims that her son was taken from her.
Taken? Her son is sea gifted. His parents were required to give him up to honor the terms of the
Ah
contract.
oui, c'est plus ça, ça je pense.
Contract? But what kind of contract are we speaking of?
A commercial contract. In exchange for services rendered by the Nords, some families cede more than gold. In some cases, nations even trade some of their subjects before they're born. I wouldn't be able to tell you the condition of Jonas's contract. I didn't even know he was originally from Sérène. But what I can tell you is the young man hasn't seen his parents since he was a small child. And ever since, he's been a Nord. Our ships are his home. We are his only family.
Waouh, ouais, mais alors là c'est compliqué là, qu'est-ce que tu veux trancher? Bah du coup, bah le gamin a jamais connu ses parents, du coup, bah ouais.
is a veritable well of scientific knowledge. He could tell us a little more.
Plus clair.
But I still don't see Constantine at your side.
S'en fout.
Don't worry. We'll
I certainly hope so.
Tout à fait, lui demander quel sera son rôle. Non, sans parler du contrat entre les Nautes et les Fontaines.
I've had a word with Lady Fontaine. You must know her. That rich family that lives near the docks. She told me a strange story about her son who was a cabin boy on our ship. She said that he was taken when he was a child, due to some contract with the Nords.
Who was a cabin boy? Do you mean he's no longer one?
They took him back to bring him home.
Well, that is very unpleasant news, de Sade. We need to do all we can to bring the boy back to his ship. Since time immemorial, there's always been a certain price to pay for the services of the Nords. Children born on their ships belong to them. It's the rule of the sea. But certain contracts are so important that they also require children to be offered in exchange.
Ils ont eu comme contrat.
From time to time, the congregation has passed such accord, and certain noble families had to give their children up.
Are you telling me that the Fontaines lost their son in an agreement signed between my uncle and the Nords?
No. That pact ended a long time ago. This cabin boy couldn't have been a part of that contract. But Sir Fontaine has made a fortune trading with the Alliance, via ships.
Ok.
Do you mean he would have offered up his own son in exchange for wealth?
Well, he probably did it before the birth of the child, and regretted it afterwards. But that is of little importance. What counts most is that you bring the boy back to the Nords as quickly as possible. Breaking a contract with the seafarers has always cost us dearly. Our nation could feel it in its coffers.
I will do my best.
Bah surtout si c'est eux qui gèrent tous les trafics maritimes, on va avoir un problème les gars. Hein. Découvrir où Jonas est retenu. Et ben on va y aller. Hein. Mais non la merde. Ouais bah mec, bon, c'est pas ouf. J'avoue que je suis pas trop pour le marché. Enfin, je veux dire, voilà, le marchandage, machin. Après il est payé, tout ça, c'est pas vraiment de l'esclavage 100%. Mais bon, c'est comme si tu mets ton enfant à la DAS et puis finalement tu vas le récupérer sans rien, tu vois, juste, bah maintenant je vais le récupérer, tu vois. C'est louable, toi. Mais à la base tu l'as échangé pour devenir riche, quoi. Là c'est pas genre tu pouvais pas t'en occuper, c'est... Voilà, quoi. C'est un peu rien à voir. Ah, attends, je vais te voler avant. Note à l'attention de la servante. J'aimerais que vous prépariez plusieurs repas et les amis aux entrepôts que nous possédons sur le canal. Mon époux va devoir y travailler avec son commis et ses hommes pour quelques jours. Veuillez donc à ce qu'il y ait assez pour qu'on mange à sa faim. Et soyez discrète. Nous ne venons pas à ce que d'autres familles sachent ce qui se passe chez nous.
This document mentions another property, a warehouse.
That would be a great place to hide. Shall we take a peek?
Oh que oui, shall we take a pic. Je sais pas comment on va faire, mais on va y aller. J'ai l'impression que les vidéos sur son jeu doivent être beaucoup trop longues. Mais bon, c'est soit ça, soit des vidéos de 20 minutes, enfin de 30 minutes et qui servent à rien, avec la moitié du truc. Moi je suis désolé, je desserre la qualité et l'enquête complète en une fois. Bon, si elle ferait 2 heures, non. Mais là, je me dis, si elle fait 1 heure, bon. Parler à passante. Merci. Alors donc je rentre comme ça. Est-ce que je peux sauvegarder? Genre... Ah. Y aurait-il une sauvegarde rapide? Il y a une sauvegarde rapide. C'est-à-dire que là, si je vais dans charger... Sauvegarde rapide. Nice. Ah, ça c'est pratique ça. Salut! Allez, on fait le... Ouais. Dans cette position incroyablement furtive. Alors, hop. Ça va, hein, on se met bien les gars là. Je connais rien. Truc bizarre. Magnifique! On y est. Attendez, on va faire le tour. Ah non. Dommage. Bon ça va, ils ont pas fait le coup de genre je suis accroupi. C'est très très lent. Maison de la famille. Pareil. Est-ce qu'on peut... J'ai du crochetage. Ah ça se trouve ça va m'aider crochetage là pour le coup.
Lady de Sade,
Monsieur Fontaine.
what are you doing here?
Comment il
I
a fait?
have come looking for your son. The Naughts are worried about his disappearance.
Those Naughts took him from us, but now we've got him back, and he'll be staying with us.
Would you be so kind as to hear what I have to say, Sir Fontaine?
Tentez de le raisonner.
I looked into the contract that binds you to the Naughts. It was indeed you who ceded your son to them in exchange for help with your business with the bridge.
It is so. But that sort of contract is ignoble. I never would have signed it if I had...
Tu savais?
You should have thought of that before. Breaking the contract could have regrettable consequences for the congregation.
The prince will know how to negotiate with the Naughts. If they take my son back, my wife will die of sadness.
Her sadness would be all the more terrible if she learned of your role in this story. Don't you think?
You wouldn't dare tell her. I beg you.
You were not leaving me with a choice.
Very well. Take the key and take him away. Cursed be the day I delivered my son unto the Naughts.
Ah bah t'as pas lu le contrat?
One day or another, sir. Farewell.
Mais enfin là, tu peux pas dire ça, ils s'en vont tôt ou tard. Calme-toi quand même, faut pas déconner. Genre... Ils s'en vont tous tôt ou tard, genre ils nous enfoncent. Mais moi j'aimerais surtout connaître la vie du môme en fait. Ah ah! Oh le crochetage! Magie pour l'instant. Ouais, et puis c'est pas genre il est tout jeune là maintenant, ça fait un moment qu'il n'est pas chez les parents là. Tu le fais dormir sur du foin quoi, normal.
Who are you?
My name is Desade. I'm legate of the congregation. Your captain has sent me to find you.
And were you able to convince my father to allow me to go free?
Yes, even if I had to bend his arm a little.
That doesn't surprise me. He seemed to have no intention of changing his mind. I feel more sorry for my mother. She seems so sweet and happy to see me.
You don't seem to be all that close to your parents.
I hadn't seen them since I was 5 years old.
Ah oui.
I barely remember them. They find me, capture me and lock me up in this warehouse. Hard to grow close after all that. My family is the Naughts. I am sorry for my parents, but that is the way of it now.
Ok, moi ça me va.
Can I go home?
Yes. You should still go and say farewell to your mother. Then find your way to your ship. I will see you there.
Surtout que c'est pas elle qui a décidé de tout ça en fait, c'est le père. Hein. Ok, on a retrouvé le matelot, je suis plutôt content donc... Parfait, parfait. Alors avant d'aller parler au capitaine Vasco, on va essayer de le piquer un maximum ce petit frelquet là. Ah mais on est en extérieur. Alors ce qui est bien c'est que les zones à visiter sont quand même vachement grandes. Nickel. Alors on informera le capitaine Vasco dans la prochaine vidéo. Mais dans la prochaine vidéo surtout ce qu'on va faire c'est on va aller modifier le carnet là, le truc à l'entrepôt pour pouvoir passer nos marchandises sur le bateau du capitaine Vasco. Voilà. En attendant les amis, cette vidéo a duré bien trop longtemps, hein. On commence à avoir l'habitude avec Metal Gear 0, mais bon c'est comme ça. 46 minutes de vidéo, mais au moins on a fait toute la quête, et ça c'est beau. Je vous fais des bisous à tous et à toutes, on se retrouve dans une prochaine vidéo, j'espère que ça vous plaît, n'hésitez pas à le dire dans les commentaires, bla bla bla, oubliez pas le Twitch, si vous voulez me voir, 3 à 4 fois par semaine, je suis en live pendant 3 heures, 4 heures, enfin bref, voilà. Je vous fais des bisous, et je vous dis à la prochaine, ciao bye.